What are the 5 mistakes that you should avoid in your ISB application? The first mistake that a lot of people do in their ISB application is that they think about the essays as a standalone activity. So think about your application strategy as a whole. This is point number 1. Point number 2 is misunderstanding extracurricular activities. Many applicants list out a lot of extracurricular activities into their essays. So whenever you're putting up your application, make sure that your essay has a consistent story to talk about. It is not a list of your extracurricular activities. There is a separate section which asks you to put a list of your extracurricular activities, so you can focus on the story in your essays. The third mistake is using industry jargon and abbreviations. If you're coming from a technical role, these terminologies will be very natural to you, but they will not communicate the value or the essence that you want to communicate in terms of the storytelling, probably in the essay. So make sure that your essays are not jargonized and they don't have a lot of abbreviations and acronyms. The next mistake that a lot of applicants do is when that they are writing the essays, they fill it up with numbers. Yes, numbers are important to showcase in your essays, but how much and when and where? That is an important judgment that you need to make. So whenever you are highlighting your work experience in your essays, or in your application, make sure the numbers are appropriately placed and also addressing the story as a whole. So add numbers, but make sure what you are adding, where you are adding, and how you are adding it in your essays. And the last and the most common mistake is waiting for too long to submit your application. You don't even get started with your essays until it is like, another 10-15 days to the application deadline. Please start with your essays earlier in time so that you have the time and the bandwidth to work on the storyline, if to work and on putting together a strong narrative for your ISP application. So if you are someone who's making these 5 mistakes unintentionally, please watch out. So guys, definitely avoid committing any of these 5 mistakes in your application process for the ISB intake for the 2025 application, and all the best for your so guys, at all costs, please avoid these mistakes in your ISP application. All the best.